Hi guys! So just like last time, still at my house. Hopefully this will be one of the last videos at my house because I know that the camera quality is kind of weird here because the lights are different than they are at school and the noises are different. I think that it was fairly quiet in the last one, but it's because I found a time that I could film when my neighbors weren't being loud. So hopefully it'll be quiet again tonight. So we're going to finish reading Inside Out and Back again. We're so close to being done. We're going to read from the poems Start Over to 1976. There's also a note at the end of the book written by the author that we're going to read and talk about. So this one should be fairly short because we're really close to the end. So Start Over is on page 253. It'll look like this. You can even see it well. I know it's a bit grainy. So we're going to start reading. We have 1, 2. We really only have 3 poems to read today, but 2 of them are kind of long, and then we're going to read the author's note. So we'll go ahead and get started. On 253, Start Over. I'm trying to tell Miss Washington about our ceremony for Father. But it takes time to match every noun and verb, sort all the tenses, remember all the articles, and set the tone for every S. Miss Washington says if every learner waits to speak perfectly, no one would learn a new language. Being stubborn won't make you fluent. Practicing will. The more mistakes you make, the more you'll learn not to. They laugh. Shame on them. Challenge them to say something in Vietnamese and laugh right back. I tell her Father is at peace. I tell her I'd like to plant flowers from Vietnam in her backyard. I tell her Tet is coming, and luck starts over every new year. An engineer, a chef, a vet, and not a lawyer. Brother Quang has started night school to restudy engineering, to become what he was meant to be. Mother smiles. Vu Li refuses to apply to a real college. Instead, will go to a cooking school in San Francisco, where his idol once walked. Mother sighs, twists her brows to no effect. Brother Ko announces that he will become a doctor of animals. Mother starts to say something, then nods. Mother has always wanted an engineer, a real doctor, a poet, and a lawyer. She turns to me. You love to argue, right? No, I don't. She brightens. I vow to become much more agreeable. 1976, Year of the Dragon. This Tet, there's no I Ching teller of fate, so Mother predicts our year. Our lives will twist and twist, intermingling the old and the new, until it doesn't matter which is which. This Tet, there's no bachung in the shape of a square made of pork, glutinous rice, and mung beans wrapped in banana leaves. Mother makes her own in the shape of a log, made of pork, regular rice, and black beans wrapped in cloth. Not the same, but not bad. As with every Tet, we are expected to smile until it hurts, all 3 first days of the year. Wear all new clothes, especially underneath. Not sweep, not splash water, not talk back, not pout. Mother thinks of everything. She even asked Brother Quang to bless the house right after midnight so I couldn't beat him to it by touching my big toe to the carpet before dawn. Mother has set up an altar on the highest bookshelf, the same for every young portrait of Father. I have to look away. We each hold an incense stick and wait for the gong. I pray for Father to find warmth in his new home, Mother to keep smiling more, Brother Quang to enjoy his studies, Vu Li to drive me from and to school, Brother Ko to hatch an American chick. I open my eyes. The others are still praying. What could they be asking for? I think and think, then close my eyes again. This year I hope I truly learn to fly kick, not to kick someone as much as to fly. Alright, so that's the end of the book. So I want to read the author's note to you. Sometimes during books I'll read these and sometimes I don't. but I think the one in this book is really, really good, so we're going to read it together. So the author's note is on page 261. It says, Dear reader, much of what happened to Ha, the main character in Inside Out and Back Again, also happened to me. At age 10, I too witnessed the end of the Vietnam War and fled to Alabama with my family. I too had a father who was missing in action. I also had to learn English and even had my arm hair pulled on the first day of school. The fourth graders wanted to make sure I was real, not an image they had seen on TV. So many details in this story are inspired by my own memories. Aside from remembering facts, I work hard to capture Ha's emotional life. What was it like to live where bombs exploded every night, yet where sweet snacks popped up at every corner? What was it like to sit on a ship heading toward hope? What was it like to go from knowing you're smart to feeling dumb all the time? The emotional aspect is important because of something I noticed in my nieces and nephews. They may know in general where their parents came from, but they can't really imagine the noises and smells of Vietnam, the daily challenges of starting over in a strange land. I extend this idea to all. How much do we really know about those around us? I hope you enjoyed reading about Ha as much as I enjoyed remembering the pivotal year of my life. I also hope after you finish the book that you will sit close to someone you love and implore that person to tell and tell and tell their story. So that was written by the lady who wrote this book. So this book isn't 100% true, but it's based on things that are true. So when she was a kid, she probably didn't keep a journal where she wrote poems every day. But she took the things that she remembered from when she was a child and turned them into poems that made it seem like she had written them every day. This is a thing that a lot of authors do, and that I think is really cool and a good way to learn about things. Because we can learn about someone else's experiences and what someone else's life is like by reading a book like this. This was something that happened to real people. Last year in history, we were supposed to talk about the Vietnam War, but we didn't get much of a chance to. We started talking about it a little bit, but we didn't finish because of all of the things that happened last year. And so this is a real event that happened to real people. All of those pictures that I showed you at the beginning of this book that you can still go back and look at if you'd like to, are real pictures of real people. So I want you to think about that as we finish up the book and you're writing your last set of answers for me. And just as you think about books in general, think about the people who were actually involved in things like this and how the characters might feel. I hope that you enjoyed reading this book and that you enjoyed all of the questions that I asked you about how the characters feel and what they're thinking. Because when we started the book, I had you answering a bunch of questions about like the actual poems that we read and what was going on. But as time went on, I had you start thinking more about how Ha feels and thinking about her more like a real person, because I wanted you to be able to relate to her as a person and think about her experiences as being something that was real. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that we can have a few more discussions about it in the future. Alright, so this is the end of it for today. I will post some questions for you, and when you turn in your homework today, let me know what you thought of the book. Let me know if you enjoyed it, if you didn't like it, why. Just tell me what you thought of it, because I'm curious to see how you liked it. Alright, have a good day, guys. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.